gotta get it, cause I gotta get it. I gotta get it. I gotta get it. Thank you much for tuning in. Let's get right into it. All right, so I had a dope question. The question was, working at Amazon, is the pay worth it? I thought that was a great question because a lot of people were actually saying like, man, the pay's not worth it. Let's talk about it. All right, so is Amazon for everybody? We've talked about this time and time again. No, it's not. But is the pay worth it? For some people, it may not be. But for people like me, it's life-changing. I grew up in the era of something most people do not know nothing about. Have you ever heard of something called temp agency? Amazon is better than any temp agency job I've ever worked at. Amazon is honestly one of the best jobs I've worked at. Let me stop. Let me just give you a little brief history on some of the jobs I've had. I had some great jobs, but I mostly had some crazy jobs that was not structurally and integrity-wise, especially when it comes to paying out the finances, as Amazon was. All right, so with Amazon, first of all, it's like the easiest entry job to get into with no school degree, with no great job history. Like, I laugh about that, about how they hire so many people, like just off the street. I laugh and joke about that. But look at the opportunity that creates for the people who don't have that great job history, that don't have that schooling background. It can literally be life-changing. You know what I mean? So for people who have the schooling and who have this great job background, this may not be for you. You can probably get into a better job quicker and get paid more. But there's a lot of people to where this opportunity is golden. I am one of those people. You know what I mean? So I definitely think the pay is worth it. And I mean, honestly, tell me of other jobs that you can get into this easy, where you're making decent money, right? Where? You know what I mean? Like, where can the average person who doesn't have schooling, who doesn't have great job history, just go in and get paid above average? Maybe I just don't know because I haven't been looking. So I'm not acting like I know and Amazon is the end all be all. I'm not saying that, but maybe you can enlighten me. Drop it in the comments. What jobs can you just easily go into? I would try to look into construction and things like that, but I don't really have the knowledge. I haven't looked into that, so I can't talk about that. But let me know, enlighten us. If it's something else that you can get into this easy, let us know. With Amazon, I think the reason why most people say that is the physical aspect of the job, which is not really physical as in picking up. All right, you picking up some heavy stuff sometimes. Nothing more than 50 pounds, but when you look at the job description, it is a warehouse job, right? This is the easiest warehouse job I've ever worked. Hands down. I've worked at FedEx. I've worked at some other place. I've worked at Vibe magazine. That's a whole story in itself. I thought Vibe magazine was like Vibe magazine. You in my generation, you remember Vibe. They had a warehouse and it was through a temp agency. I'm like, what? I'm about to see 50 Cent, you feel me? I'm about to see Eminem up in here. I didn't see that at all. I saw boxes,
and more boxes.
I've never walked out of a job before, except that one. Like, I literally was like, y'all tripping. Y'all tripping. Like, how do you expect? Look, I didn't have no trainers. First day, they just threw me on the line. They had an actual line. My magazines was just piling up and it was bad. Like, other workers were looking, who's been there for a long time, they were like looking at me and low-key smiling. Nobody helps. There was no learning ambassador. Like, there was no learning curve. Like, no, first day, you gotta be 100%. Like, you feel me? So it's like, Amazon was not even the worst physical warehouse job that I've had. Honestly, Amazon is the least physical, the least craziest warehouse job that I've experienced. And I'm getting paid the most. And I'm seeing the most opportunity here. Is the pay worth it? I think the biggest way to explain that is it depends on the person. Also, some of the jobs that I've worked, there's a few different jobs where, you know, they didn't even pay me on time. Like, that's a real thing. That's a real struggle that I had to go through in my life. There were certain jobs that I worked, I did not get paid on time. I had to actually go look for the payroll people to give me my check that I worked for. Where they do that at? You feel me? Like, this is a real fact. That happened to me. This is not a story, to me. There were times I worked 60-hour weeks and 40, and I could not, they didn't want to pay me. And then they had an attitude when I go look for my check that I work for. And on top of that, the pay wasn't even that great. Guess how many times I had to fight for my check at Amazon? Guess how many times I had to hit up Jeff Bezos and threaten his phone? Hey, Jeff, where my money at? You feel me? Like, guess how many times I had to send people to Amazon to go threaten them to get my check? 0. Guess how many times I had to chase my manager down like, hey, bro, hey, y'all not gonna pay me? 0. I have not had that one time working at Amazon. No, not one time. That is amazing. That in itself is amazing. You don't have to worry about stuff like that in Amazon. Is it worth it to me? It is worth it. Now, keep this, right? Personal. Forget all the other stories out there. This is me. So I started off in the warehouse, working those crazy hours, working 60 hours a week, packing boxes, stowing into them things, sweat dripping, drama going on, stuff going, like the crazy of crazies. I'm from Amazon. Right now, I'm able to be in corporate. I'm doing 99% less work than I was doing in the warehouse right now. So is it worth it? Dealing with all that, standing on your feet 10 hours a day and dealing with packing, hitting these rates for a little while to where now I'm in a place to where physically I'm doing 99% less of the work I was doing in that area. I think that's pretty worth it. Like my physical job description, hey, we need you to come into this building, sit in this cubicle, and just sit there for about 11 hours. Is that not worth it? For me, it was very worth it. You know what I mean? So but if I would have listened to somebody else's opinion, if I would let somebody else try to write my story, there was plenty of people, you shouldn't be no ambassador. Even before that, you shouldn't work at Amazon because, it's too hard, Imagine if I would have listened to that. Imagine, right? I'm not saying something else great would have happened, but look at what did happen, Imagine if I listened to somebody, you shouldn't be no PA. Here, no, let me change your story. You shouldn't be no PA because it's more responsibility. They don't pay you enough. Imagine if I listened to that. Like, don't go to corporate because now I'm about to be working here in my office, in the dream room. I'm going to be working. Like, don't let nobody write your story. You feel me? If you feel something, you move on that. You write your story. I'm writing my story. Like, I didn't listen to the opinions that's out there, and I'm not going to start listening to the opinions out there on any area of life. So I encourage you to do the same. I'm not saying come work for Amazon. I don't even, you would think I'm a recruiter. I'll be on here talking about Amazon. Capitalize off working at Amazon. And what I mean by that is, you gotta wait until the next video. That's the next video. Capitalize off working at Amazon. Anyways, it's your boy SB. I hope you enjoyed this video. Yes, this song that's about to play is my song. I'm an artist as well. It's called I Gotta Get It. I got another song called Hard Work Pays Off as well. If you haven't subscribed, be sure to subscribe. It helps the channel. Be sure to like the video. It helps the channel. Spread the word. Go share it with somebody that can relate to this stuff. But it's your boy SB. Thank you guys for the support. Let's go.
I don't see a difference. The fear in the face. Said you better keep this. Cause I'm on a mission. And the man is committed. Day in the club. I'm in the kitchen. Passion and patience mixed that with persistence, and that's what I'm sipping. Shooting for greatness. I settle for less, and I feel like I'm slipping. More bars in the prison. Hop in the car and I whip it. Cause I gotta go.